Hey guys, Eric with Blue Line Fishing. Welcome back to the channel. Your time's important to me, and what we're going to do in today's time is we're going to talk how to do some basic oiling and lubricating on a spinning reel. This is information everybody should know to keep your gear in top working order, and so you don't have any problems or hassles throughout the season when you're trying to do more fishing than you are working or spending time messing with gear. So stick around today. I think you're going to enjoy this video. Okay guys, let's get in on how to oil and lubricate this spinning outfit. Like I said, we're just going to do a basic oil and lubricating on it. Nothing real fancy. We're not going to break it down and get into all the gears and stuff like that. But what I do here is what I've done for many years, and it gets me through each season. I've never really had any problems or issues, so I think it'll work for you guys too. First off, the oil that I'm using today is Quantum hot sauce. There's a lot of different oils and greases out there on the market, but over the years I've used a lot of different ones, and I think this Quantum hot sauce is the best. I really like it. It's one of those, it's an ultra low viscosity oil. It does a really good job, so this is what I'm gonna be using today. Okay guys, I'm gonna get my cheaters on here so I can see what I'm doing up close and show you guys. The first thing I like to oil on any spinning reel is the paddle here, or the reel handle. And I'll put just a little bit of oil right here in this groove. I'll show you. So I'll take a little bit of this hot sauce, and you do not have to, no matter what oil you're using, you do not have to use a lot. Just a really, literally one drop will do you. So I'm gonna put a little drop right there, and I'm gonna let that thing work in. So I'm gonna work it back both directions here and make sure that's in there really good. And then I'm gonna take that, even though I just put one drop in, if there's any excess there, I'm gonna kind of run this paper towel around it. And you can see, even though I put a drop, it came out a little bit heavy, so a little bit on the paper towel. But anyway, so that's the first thing I start out with, is putting a little bit of oil here on the reel handle, or the paddle here. The second thing I'll do is I'm going to take the reel handle off here, and I'm going to get to the bearings. This is a Quantum Vapor reel. If you're wondering, it's the 30 size, or equivalent to a 3000 size, and any of the other manufacturers. It's the one I like, my favorite size for bass fishing. So I'm going to take this handle off right here, break it loose, and it comes off a little different than some of them. Some of them they just screw and slip straight out the side here, but loosen that up. So I've got this off here, and what I like to lube next is, or oil next, is right in here, this little ring with the bearings in it. I'm just going to put one little drop of oil, once again, right down inside here. Got that work around there. What I'm going to do is put this right back on. Alright, so that's snug. Come back over here and put my cap on the end here. Once I get that in, I'm just going to work that right in to those bearings. So now we've got the reel handle oiled and the bearings inside the handle assembly here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the spool cap and the spool, and we're going to oil the spool shaft down in there, and then a couple more things after that once we get this back on. So if you've never taken this off before, you're just turning this thing counterclockwise. You're taking the spool cap off, then the spool itself comes off very easily there, and then you're left with the spool shaft right here. Okay, and on the spool shaft, some guys like to put grease here. That's what comes from the factory. I've not found there any difference if I use grease or oil. Personally, the only thing I'm not a big fan about grease with is that I just had this, I bass fish with this here in Indiana and all around the Midwest, but we just had it down in Gulf Coast, Alabama, and Dauphin Island, shore fishing a whole bunch, and that grease collects sand, and it has a tendency to collect dirt and grime if it would get in there. So that's why I'm a little bit bigger fan of oil than I am grease. But I'm sure guys out there have their personal preference on what they want to use. That's just me. So next, what I'm going to do is take, and I'm just going to put a little drop right here on the base of that spool shaft once again. Now I'm just going to work, you can see it working in up there, and you can actually see the hot sauce going up and down on that shaft there, and it's lubricating the spool shaft. So I've got a little bit there. Once again, 1 drop will do. You don't have to overdo it. What I want to get to next here is putting just a dab here on each side of the bail assembly. So each side, 1 here and 1 here. Just one little drop in there and 1 little drop in there. And you can see I got a little bit much on there, but I'm gonna let that work itself down in there. I'm gonna work this back and forth. And once again, I got a little bit extra in there. I'm gonna wipe it off with a paper towel. So guys, once I have this this line guide right here on the bail, that drop of oil in there, I like to get a rubber band, and it's kind of hard to show you here with this camera on the tripod, but what I'll do is I'm just taking this rubber band, putting it right on the line guide like that, and I'll run it back and forth here like a seesaw, and it'll roll through there, and it'll help work that oil into that line guide and through there. So a little tip for you there, just using a rubber band. So now I'm going to reassemble the reel, and we should be good to go. Okay guys, we're just getting the spool cap back on here and the spool, get everything cinched back up here, and we should be good to go. And there you go, it is smooth as glass, and that's what we want. So that is the basics for oiling a spinning reel. Like I said, this is all I do. You can break down the reel and start getting into the gears and things like that, but just doing this basic oiling job, and I've done this for years on my spinning outfits, has made them last and last and last. I've got a Shimano Stratic that's lasted me for over a decade, and just doing this basic type of oiling to it, and that's taking it into using it in salt water and at the beach several times a year, and then fishing here in the Midwest as well. So to go over it again real quick, just the points that I hit, to highlight those, I'm going to oil right here at the base of the reel handle. Then I'm going to oil at the base of the handle crank, right where the bearings are. And then I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to take the spool cap off. And once I take that off, I'm going to oil the spool shaft at the base. And then I'm going to come in here and oil both sides of the bail where it closes. And then I'm going to come up here and oil this roller bearing, and use the rubber band trick to kind of work that in just a little bit. So, you know, all in all, those are the spots that I'm going to hit. It doesn't take long. You can get those done real quick, and I guarantee it will massively increase the life you get out of your spinning outfit. So you guys should know how to do that now. Get yourself some Quantum hot sauce, get yourselves your spinning reel, just hit those basic spots, and you will be good to go. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today and got something out of it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate you guys taking time to watch today. It means a lot to me. Also, we're going to be having a 2,000 subscriber giveaway coming up here soon, and some other how-to videos. Also going to do a how-to on basic oil and lubrication of a bait casting reel, so be sure to stick around for those as well. And in the meantime, before the next video comes out, get out there and fish.